Let's be honest, you want an easy way to make money with stocks. Well, let me tell you, it's your lucky day. In today's video, I'm going to be breaking down the easiest way to make money with stock options for beginners, including an example of the trades that I made over the past day, generating me $300 in only 30 minutes of work. Step one of this strategy is finding a company you want to invest in and buying 100 shares of stock. Very simple, right? It's just a company that you believe in long term that you want to hold in your portfolio for 5, 10, 15 years. In my personal portfolio, it just happened to be Airbnb and AMD. For step two, it's time to put on the technical analysis goggles and jump into a stock chart to determine when that said stock is going to pull back. What you're looking for on the stock chart is a series of lower high points for the stock price, or for that same stock price to be approaching an area that it has bounced off of before, thinking of it as a roof or a ceiling where it's going to bounce back down. For my trades that netted me over $300 for AMD, what I saw was this candlestick right here. I saw this rejection candlestick coming into play saying that we want to push the price higher, the buyers do in this example, but the price was driven back low down to this 139 level right there. What that said to me was there was an attempt to move higher. It got rejected, meaning there could be additional selling pressure in the coming days, which there ultimately was with this candlestick right there. I saw a similar setup with Airbnb, only this candlestick came a few days earlier with that rejection wick saying we're not going to go any higher than this 149 level. We're going to push the price back down. We had a couple days here, 1, 2, 3 of indecision. And on this third day is when I sold my covered call strategy, which I'm going to get to in a second how to do this, which netted me a good chunk of profit on this day right here when the stock continued to pull back downward. For step three, all I had to do was open up my Interactive Brokers app, my option chain for AMD, and sell a covered call, which means I'm just agreeing to potentially having to sell 100 shares of stock, but I get paid dollars to do that for taking on that risk. And because I already own these 100 shares, it's called a covered call option. And I chose to sell around this 150 strike right there. And I ended up getting paid for this trade at the time, $172. I did the same thing with Airbnb, but I owned 300 shares of Airbnb. So instead of just selling one contract, I sold 3 contracts at this $160 strike price when the price at the time was currently $1.90 per contract. And I would have pocketed $570 at the time of selling these covered calls. Now, once you've sold your covered call and you have that option trade in your portfolio, all you have to do is sit back and wait. Just wait for the option to expire, or if you want to close the trade early and give back a part of your profit and lock in the profit or gain, you can do that as well. This is what I chose to do with my Airbnb and AMD covered calls. Initially, it took me 15 minutes to go through my charts, my technical analysis, and set up those trades in my account on the stock that I already own. It took another 15 minutes afterwards to close those trades and realize the profit in my account in cold, hard cash. My total profit for these trades was $385 in about 30 minutes of work. I made $70 from AMD and $220 from the 3 contracts of Airbnb. When you add those two together, you get $290. You convert that to Canadian from American, and boom, there's your $385 of profit in 30 minutes of trading. The best part about this strategy is that anybody who owns 100 shares of stock can do it. It is quite simple to do when you're a beginner options trader. All you need is those shares. Figuring out in step 2 when the market or stock is going to pull back, go and sell your covered call. I always recommend you sell it at the acquisition price that you bought it for at the very least, so you're not losing money. Then sit back and wait and let the profits come rolling in. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to my channel to help it grow and see content just like this. And if you want to see a deeper dive into the covered call strategy, like we're talking big time theory, how it works, when to sell, when not to sell, why you would use these, check this out right here.